All right. So now the last thing I'm going to show you is actually a limitation of Python, if you will. And so what I have open is a terminal window. In this terminal window, I'm actually going to access a supercomputer. And so in that supercomputer, which again is going to be comet sdsc.xseed.org. So I'm accessing a supercomputer which has plenty of cores, and so here you can see welcome to Comet. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to run the pi calculation script that I made through Monte Carlo. What am I saying? Oh well. So the way that I want to do this is I need to first module load Python. This opens, if you want to check ever which Python script you're using, you want to do Python -- version. And that tells me I'm using Python 2.715, and I obviously want Python 3. So what I need to do is do Python 3 on this particular module, and then I get Python 3.6.9. And so whenever I run Python from this module, I'm going to run it as Python 3. And so what I can do is I can do Python 3 and run pycalc.py, and that runs my script for me. So it runs pretty quickly because, again, I'm running on a supercomputer, so it's a very fast processor. It gives me back my answer pretty quick, and if I want to look at what I'm actually running, here's what I'm running. It's doing 100 points 1,000 times. And I can edit it with one of the terminal face, sort of script editors. But what I want to show you actually is that a Python script by default is not optimized for parallel processing. So if I do MPI run, which runs a parallel process on, I'll do 8 cores. So now if you might think, well, it's going to run on 8 cores, it's going to run really quick. But actually that's not going to happen. What's going to happen is it's going to run the exact same thing. Oh man. Let's do module load Intel. And let's try it again. Let's just follow a directory. I know my problem. Okay, so what I didn't do is I didn't do Python 3. Doesn't know how I'm actually going to do this. So now, because it's not actually running parallel, what it actually does is it submits the same job to each processor, which you can actually use to your advantage. So there's a way to use this to your advantage. If you have a shell script that runs the Python script to 8 different processes and then averages them, you obviously have the advantage of running parallel, but again, it's sort of a haphazard way of doing it. You can see from the output here, what it did is it ran our same script 8 different times, basically in serial for 8 different cores. I think I can do this 16 times. Maybe I'll do up to 24. Yeah, okay, so I can do it 16 times. And so you get the same exact script ran through 16 different cores. But the difference is each core is going to get a different result because it's using random numbers. And so if you averaged all of these, you would have a number even closer to pi than any of the individual results. So again, this is a limitation of Python. Python's not intrinsically built for parallel computing. Obviously, what we want to do is we want Python itself to average these results so that we don't have to make a shell script to run each individual process and then average the results. But as it stands, this is not if we know our limitations of Python, then we can work around it. But there might be ways of doing this that are more involved. But again, making you aware of it, this is a limitation of Python. So obviously we want to build scripts for parallel processing because using parallel processing is major. It's a game changer because we can imagine averaging these to get a more accurate version of pi without actually having to actually make a script to do all of that. It would be so much quicker. And then as we do, calculating pi is sort of easy, but doing something as more complicated, we want it to actually utilize all of the cores on our parallel processing. So that's sort of introducing you to the idea that Python's not great with, parallel processing. We do want to utilize the benefits of parallel processing for our scientific computing. And so that's where we're going with this course. So I hope you enjoyed this. See you again.